What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Hendog. Another week, another L for the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, the Cardinals fall to 1-5 since the bye week as they fall to the Los Angeles Rams 13-9. Really just digging us another foot deeper for our grave to call the 2024 season after the utter disappointment that was a loss to Carolina last week. I mean, it wasn't an utter disappointment. The defense responded by giving up 36 points to the Panthers by absolutely flying around the field. Budda Baker out there making tackles and deflecting passes looking like a prime cornerback. Screw a safety. That dude was out there locking dudes up and diving, swatting balls away. He looked like a full-on cornerback. I mean, if there's any positive from this season, any positive is that we re-signed James Conner and we re-signed Budda Baker. I mean, the one thing watching that game made me so happy that we re-signed Budda Baker because and I tweeted this. I hate being the franchise known as having fans where we wished our players would go somewhere else and win Super Bowl because we feel bad for them being a part of this organization. We did that with Larry Fitzgerald. Cardinals fans were okay. People hated the Patriots and Tom Brady during that run. I didn't. I personally like Tom Brady, so I really don't hate the Patriots during their legacy, dynasty run. But a lot of people hated Tom Brady and the Patriots because they kept winning. Cardinals fans were literally saying, please trade Larry Fitzgerald to the Patriots so he can win a Super Bowl. We feel that bad for him. And now we have another one. We have another loyal player like Budda Baker. And it's hard because he's out there. You watch that game. The defense and him are absolutely flying out there. They're holding the Rams. Okay, I'm going to rant. I'm going to get there. But just saying, Budda Baker out there flying around, deflecting passes, making the tackles you needed. That's why we extended him, and that's why we're so happy to keep him, because 31 other teams would want him in a heartbeat. They'd pay that money. They'd even pay him more. Teams would want him in a heartbeat. But we have him, and it sucks because do we see us winning fucking Super Bowls under Michael Bidwell? Well, no, because we didn't win any under his dad either. So, no. So, any positive, it's good that we still have Budda Baker. Anything to clean on to from the season that we still have Budda Baker. We extended to him and James Conner. But then going back to the rant that I was just about to go on. The defense responds. And by the way, I love happy holidays to all of you. And honestly, I love the banter and I love the trolling. I love the stuff, the comments in my videos. But when one person, and happy holidays, I'm not going to personally attack this person. No. I'm just saying, when you try to come to tell me, when the defense gives up a 16-point lead to the Minnesota Vikings and they blew the game when the offense couldn't score in the end zone, we just saw it again. The Cardinals offense 1-4 in the red zone. The Cardinals defense is not the problem this year, and it's been the best part of the season and deserves the investment. People trying to come at me, especially this one guy, trying to tell me that the defense failed Kyler. Well, guess what? Kyler and this offense has failed us and the defense all year. How do you think the fucking defense feels last night on the sidelines? They're stuffing Kyren Williams. They're getting to Matthew Stafford. They're making Matthew Stafford run like Josh Allen out there. He literally found Cooper Kupp like once or twice. Puka was Puka. He's going to get open. You can't guard him. But we're locking up Kupp. Kyren Williams wasn't going anywhere. Matthew Stafford had to run past the line of scrimmage and get yards with his legs. I mean, we held him to 13 points. And I'm sorry, our offense gets 321 yards of offense. Controls the call over 35 minutes or whatever of time of possession. They just dominated time of possession. 300 yards of passing offense. Great on third downs. And you're telling me we only get 9 fucking points? 9 points. 1 for 4 in the red zone. Hello, that's not on defense. It's on Kyler and the offense. And let me say now, both those interceptions. One was maybe on. I'm kind of starting to lean the first one. So here, I'm going to say this now. Kyler Murray's not the reason we lost that game. Yes, he had 2 interceptions, but he's not the reason we ultimately lost that game. The second interception for me was his fault personally. too hard at McBride. Dude literally gunned it like a dodgeball, trying to get Vince Vaughn out like he's fucking White Goodman. He's trying to gun it at his head. Bro, like watching it back, yeah, he's getting pressured, but if he can just hold on to it for one more second, just hold on to it for another second, let McBride just literally get his head turned around. You watch it, it's just bang, bang like that. But Kyler, if he just hold on to it for a little longer and takes it a tad off of it, bro, it's not a fucking fastball. Takes a little bit off of it, Trey McBride gets that. But rewind that. On that play. And again, it's just going to keep coming up. I've tried my hardest to just get over the fact that this exists. But Kyler Murray not being able to see the middle of the field and see over his line, especially when pressure comes and there's stuff in his face. We see it time and time again with Joe Burrow, well, especially Joe Burrow, like he did in his rookie season. We see it with Josh Allen. We see it with all these QBs. They're in pressure, last-ditch throws. They're able to get it over the defender or just around this way able, but they're bigger players. When Kyler feels pressure or any ounce and it closes on him, he instantly, I'm not saying he's a coward, but that's how they kind of use their reference. He kind of cowers down and he takes the sack because he can't get the ball over. He can't do anything. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, they could last ditch get rid of the ball. Marvin Harrison Jr. on that play, they're motioning him inside. Holy shit, Drew Petzing, you motioning Marvin Harrison Jr. inside. That's insane. The play itself was a great play. So the one time I will credit Drew Petzing, it was a great play because Marvin Harrison Jr. is open as he runs across the field. If Kyler wants to gun that, Marvin Harrison Jr. barely has his man beat, but if you throw a hard throw ball like right in front of him at Marv like that, he's going to obviously get it away from the defender. Marv's length is going to catch that ball, or at least hopefully he catches it. But Kyler cannot see that because the pressure is coming from the middle to the right side of the line where Marv is crushing the cost. He's about to be open. He can't see that. So it's just, it's one of those things where it's like you try to get over it, but fortunately Kyler can't fucking see that shit, man. And that sucks because there's years of that shit where literally you just watch any pressure that comes into Kyler, he instantly falls down. There's no last ditch throws. He can't get it over them. But Joe Burrow literally has players in his face, and Jamar Chase last ditch is cutting across the field, or Icevis, or just Mike Gesicki. Sorry, I might butcher the second dude's name. I'm sorry, that dude has a really long name. I'm not good at pronouncing names. But Mike Gesicki, just someone short. Drew Sample even. Someone just a short drag across the field, and Myles Garrett's on Joe Burrow or whatever. He can literally get it over as he's getting hit. Kyler Murray is just going to fall because he's protecting the football and he knows he can't get rid of it. It's just the little things like that, man, hurt. Because those are yardages, those are plays, those are touchdowns potentially that we're missing on because our quarterback can't see that. But if he wants to go with the McBride route, just take a tad off of it with another quick second. You had time to hold him for another millisecond, or just take a tiny bit off of it. He did not need to gun that football. That was just I feel like that was unnecessary to put that much heat on it. But it ends up being intercepted, and the interception itself you cannot blame Kyler on because the throw I can blame Kyler on, and just the play itself where he didn't see, I could blame Kyler on. But the interception you cannot blame Kyler on because that's one of the freakiest things you'll ever see. Literally guns McBride in the helmet, bounces 10 feet up in the air, and the guy makes an incredible diving catch and makes it. So literally, while a fat Kyler had, and then look, I hate statistics. I'm starting to really hate statistics because people want to talk about Kyler having 321 and it looked good. But what did we do with it? What did we do with the time of possession? What did we do with the third down conversions? What did we do with those passing yards? What did we do with Michael Carter's rushing yards, who came in and looked good for James Conner? What did we do with that? We did jack shit. And that's what's wrong with the offense. Even when we get these yards, we can't do shit. And that's the whole kind of circling back to why the guy, for some reason, was mad at me that I didn't blame the defense for blowing the 6-point lead for Kyler. And this is the reason why I don't blame them. Because the offense can't fucking score in the end zone. They can't get in the end zone, bro. They literally couldn't get Minnesota. Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison, Naylor, who's a good wide receiver, 3 wide receiver, 4, he's under the radar. And then with Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the better offensive minds in the league, if you can't score in the end zone, if you just only kick field goals, Minnesota can find a way to get in the end zone themselves. And that's what happened, and that's why we ended up losing that Vikings game. Yeah, the defense didn't help itself, but the fact that the Cardinals could not get in the end zone and only kick field goals, by the way, they only are 3 points, touchdowns are 6. So, bro, literally, it ain't that hard to make up a 16 points when you're fucking kicking field goals and that team's able to start driving on you and start getting touchdowns. Literally, we would not be having this discussion if the Cardinals could at least get in the end zone twice instead of kick field goals in that game. But that's the problem, is that literally all season long, wow, this offense looked good the first few games. Cool, we beat the Rams by a lot. Yeah, well, they started fucking backup centers at tackles and freaking defensive linemen at linebackers, bro. They were that depleted. Cooper Kupp got injured in the first quarter. So, of course, we're just going to run over them. It was a fluke. And then now look what happens. Kyler Murray, since being Cardinals quarterback, is 13-30 in November and December and January. I say that again. Kyler Murray is 13-30 in November, December, and January. And supposedly he loves playing in these important big games in December. Why? Because you lose them? So it's frustrating because literally, despite everything that went on, there was a small chance to win that game. And the Cardinals find a way to Arizona Cardinals it. Offense can't get in the end zone with all this time possession, with all these yards, with the ability to run. And then we're in week 17, and you're finally telling me we can throw down the field somewhat? Really? 17 weeks in, and we're finally able to throw down the field. And then, by the way, Drew Petzing, this is why in the end you should be fired. 3rd and 17, you try to run some like wide receiver sweet flea flicker on a 3rd and 17 when you need a touchdown down 4, and it literally collapses so bad Michael Wilson has to run for 6 or 7 yards when you should be throwing down the fucking field. You should be fired, bro. Like, you literally should not have a job. Literally, Kyler Murray is going to lose his job probably because of you. Like, I'm going to say it right now, right here. While I have lost faith in Kyler, 2 things. 1, he's going to be the quarterback next year unless something drastically changes. And I'm okay with that because you know why? The current free agents available that will be available, like Kirk Cousins, we're not going to pay Sam Darnold's playing with the franchise tag or whatever, or he might resign with the Vikings, who knows. Someone's going to be dumb to pay him, or Cardinals are not going to pay him. So Sam Darnold's going to go somewhere else. Kirk Cousins, Jacoby Brissett, Jameis Winston, Zach Wilson, the free agents, quarterbacks available. Maybe bring in Jameis, to put some fire under Kyler. But I'm sorry, the players available, I'd rather take Kyler. But the problem is that if we have Drew Petzing next year too, I don't want both of them because it's volatile. It's scary how it could fall, just like it did this year. If they fired Drew Petzing and they went to Kyler and said, okay, bro, we're sticking with you here. We're going to get you one last, which is insane because this dude's had like 4 or 5 OCs already. But we're going to give you one more offensive coordinator. This is your year, make or break year 2025. This is it. Which should be happening. Because even though Kyler had 2 interceptions yesterday and we couldn't do fucking at all with his passing yards, Kyler will probably get 1 more year, and he should get 1 more year, unless we somehow we trade Kyler and we somehow get one of the better quarterbacks in the league, which I don't see. Or somehow we move up to the top of the draft and we get Shedeur Sanders. I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders is going to be crazy, but where we're sitting at, which is pick 11 or 12, we're not going to get a quarterback then. I don't want to see us try to get like a Quinn Ewers. I'm a Texas fan. Like I'm an ASU fan. I don't want to say I'm a Texas fan. I watch Texas from afar because of personal reasons, because I have a family member and a couple friends who are Texas fans. So I kind of like to see them do well. So I watch them from afar. ASU forks up. Hopefully they win, though, in the Peach Bowl, because that'd be awesome. Quinn Ewers, when he's healthy, that ankle's healthy. He's fast and he's a dual threat. But when watching this season, he didn't inspire full confidence where I was like, yeah, that dude would definitely take us to the would help us break that championship drought and help us lift a Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. I didn't get that feeling. So it's like, what are our options instead of Kyler Murray? Because we need to figure those out before we move off Kyler. Because right now, it's like we're stuck in QB jail, right? Because the problem is that there's no better option right now that presents itself than Kyler. But right now, we're stuck with Kyler. So it's a sucky, interesting spot to be in, because Drew Petzing is friends with Jonathan Gannon, and Jonathan Gannon has shown that he can. I mean, look at this defense. Him and Nick Rawless. This year, going into this year, this defense had. Oh, by the way, Sean Murphy-Bunting was a signing. He's one of the biggest busts. He's one of the worst cornerbacks. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this, people. I love to be proved wrong and stuff like that, but when I'm proved right, I'm loud about it. Okay, I'm a little obnoxious, I'm sorry. But what have I said all fucking year about it? Sean Murphy-Bunting is trash. People say, oh, he won a Super Bowl ring. Bro, it's because he had look at the fucking defense he played on, and look at the team he played against, and look who his fucking offense and his quarterback was. Bro had Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Leonard David, literally Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield Jr., literally he was playing with dogs. And Kansas City had both of their tackles injured, so Shaq Barrett and Dominican Sue and all of them were just to get to. I think Dominican Sue played for the Tampa Bay Bucks that year. I could be wrong, but they had a great defensive line. Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett were having a field day on Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Oh yeah, and by the way, Tom fucking Brady was his quarterback, and he had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski. I'm sorry. And Bruce Arians was his coach. Bro, I'm sorry. Literally, Sean Murphy-Bunting won a Super Bowl by just playing on that fucking team. Brandon Browner, bro. Oregon State, proud Beaver. Oregon native, or Oregon State, represent, baby. Because, Pacific Northwest, from the Pacific Northwest. Brandon Browner, bro, literally won the Super Bowl because he rode off the coattails of the Legion of Boom. He was good with Seattle, but literally with Richard Sherman, Kevin Chancellor, he won a Super Bowl there, I'm pretty sure, but he won one in New England. Because, again, they play with Tom Brady, bro, and literally Sean Murphy-Bunting wasn't crazy that year. And then look what happens. He goes to Tennessee, didn't do good in Tennessee. Tennessee let him walk. Tennessee is a dumpster fire right now, bro, and they let him walk. And we sign him. And he's the worst. We, by the way, have second year and rookie starting in that DB room. And he's supposedly the vet, and he's trash. He's the worst one in that room. He's gotten burnt every year. And when he hasn't started in games for this defense, Starling Thomas, Garrett Williams, fucking Max Melton were locking fuckers down, bro. But then when Sean Murphy-Bunting comes in, it's fucking David Moore for Carolina catching a fade route in the end zone. It's some Rams wide receiver I've never heard of getting a back shoulder fade to convert a first down against him. This dude getting burnt by everybody. And I've been saying, if he ain't on the hip of Bobby Aloff in Nashville, that bro can't cover shit. He can't run with anybody. If it ain't Bobby Aloff running and he can't chase her, he ain't getting nobody because he don't care. I've been saying that. He's not good, bro. He's the worst. And then all the free agency that they put on the defensive side have been bombs. They've been busts. But yet this defense has been balling all year minus a couple games. And they're supposed to be the inconsistent part of this team all year. But instead, it's the offense. So we're now 1-5 after the bye week when we literally had an easier schedule after the bye. Hello, we played the likes of Buffalo in Buffalo. Green Bay in Green Bay. We played the Lions, the Commanders. We went 6-4. Now, we're 1-5 against the Seahawks twice, against the Vikings. Albeit it's the Vikings, we should have won that game. But again, we couldn't get in the fucking end zone. We should have beaten Seattle at least one time, but we didn't beat them because our offense couldn't show up. We lose to fucking Panthers. Like, again, Panthers fans in my comments, bro, like, literally, your team has turned it on this year. Like, literally, Dave Canales is I think is a pretty good offensive mind. Like, I wasn't trashing your team, but to be honest with you, if this Cardinals offense was good, they would have been able to score 36 points. They had the opportunity to score 36 plus, but they got penalties and they backed him up. Oh, by the way, if you watch the game, I think it's the first time in my life I've seen one team on one play get called for 3 penalties. 3 penalties. 3 on one play is insane. But now we got one more game left at home against the San Francisco 49ers, and then it's over. At least the Arizona Diamondbacks signed Corbin Burns. Because spring training is literally just about 2 months away. End of February. Thank God. Because literally this roller coaster of a season, 6-4 going to the bye, felt good, hopefully about winning a division that we shouldn't have. I mean, I know we weren't probably going to do anything in the playoffs, but the fact is that if we weren't able to win a division that we haven't won in a while, and won it in a year that we shouldn't have, when the Niners were injured, the Rams were started off bad, and the Seahawks started off all right, we could have took advantage of that for just this year. Maybe lost in the first round, but at least we won the NFC West in a year we shouldn't have. Good momentum for a supposed rebuild. But now in the second year, we blew it. You're 1-5, and literally the only thing that's positive about your team so far is an individual player, and that's Budda Baker. Where is the positivity supposed to be for fans going into the offseason? I mean, especially if you lose this game next week against San Francisco at home, your last game, and you lose to the 49ers, which is possible because it's Kyle Shanahan, it's Brock Purdy back in his home state, it's George Kittle. He always loves to play against the Cardinals. Who knows? The Cardinals probably could lose that game. So what happens? Well, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there in my reaction video for that. But thank you all for tuning in this video. Thank you all for the comments, even all the trolls. I appreciate you. I hope you all had happy holidays. I love you all. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And please go down in the description and click the link to my TikTok and hit the follow button over there. You do not want to miss all the content I've dropped over there. All the shit I've been dropping is great and it's funny. You trust me, you'll enjoy it. You do not want to miss it. But thank you all for the support. I love you all. I hope you all had a safe and good, happy holidays. And I hope you have a good new year.